own way of thought process, and it can be conditioned by the environment we grew up in, the people who are around us, and how we take in information. Because we get 2 million bits of information every second, but we don't absorb everything, right? Our conscious mind filters it. It generalizes. Okay, that happened when I did this, so this time it must mean this, and it might be a totally different scenario, right? Like like someone, for example, you're at work and someone says, "Oh, I already met my quota," and they are still like 2 months to go, and then someone might take it, "Oh, congratulations, they're happy for them," whereas someone else might take it, "Oh, she's trying to say that I'm not good enough, that I didn't achieve my quota." So different people will take this same thing, and this person might just be happy, like sharing it, and then the people distort information. They have their own filters in order for them to absorb that. That some people, if you say, "Oh, can you do this better?" they might take it, "Okay, it's constructive criticism, and I can learn and I can grow." Whereas someone else might take it, "Oh, she doesn't like what I'm doing," and then they will feel bad. And it's the same scenario, right? So you have to understand your own and other people's model of the world. And no one is right, no one is wrong. I would say we all are entitled to our own version, as long as it does not harm anyone else. And also, if we understand the other person's model of the world, and if we respect everyone's model of the world, imagine what a world it would be. There won't be any conflicts, right? Because we are all understanding other people. But of course, that's just in theory. That's an ideal world. But still, if we made an effort to understand everyone's model of the world, then we will have less antagonism, we'll have less animosity, and less bad things happening in the world. And then we take the information, we take whatever version suits us the best, and then we internalize it based on the internal representation we have of that particular event. Like for example, if someone went out, suppose a young woman or a young guy wants to go and date in a small town in India, they will all be looked down upon, because the internal representation of the people over there is the guys and girls should not date, they should remain virgins, and they should always marry whoever their parents pick for themselves. So, whereas in the Western world, if someone is 19, 20 and they have never gone on a date, then the parents start worrying, "Oh, what's wrong with my kid? They have never gone on a date." And it's the same scenario, only different internal representations of different cultures and different societies. And then whatever internal representation we give will change our, decide what state we will be. That person in India who wants to go out with someone, and the parents are feeling ashamed because the whole society is after them. "See, I saw your son with this girl at this time of the night. What's going on?" So they feel they are losing the respect, right? Whereas here, if someone is out there, say, yeah, that's his boyfriend, that's a girlfriend, or something, right? As long as they are safe, they're happy that the child is leading a normal life, which the society dictates. And then that decides the physiology. So the parent who is already feeling ashamed, "Oh, they saw my kid in that way, in that part of the that part of the night. Oh, then I can't show my face to anyone else," right? Even like a simple thing like a divorce. Many people won't even tell their extended family that their sons or daughters got divorced because they are looked down upon. That something must be wrong with them and no one will try to find out any details. They'll just like, that's the common norm, and so that will decide the physiology. They'll feel ashamed, they won't want to go out, they will like feel mad at their kids for bringing them a bad name and it's spoiling their reputation. Whereas the same scenario here, they will feel proud, "Oh, my son or my daughter is having a normal life," and their physiology will be like confident, and they are happy that my child is going to go according to the norms of the society and will be have a good relationship. Whereas the same thing in India or somewhere or those societies, they'll think, "Oh, now I can never get my kid married off to anyone because people know they went out with someone at this late at night, so they are not like good enough to get married in a good family." So that will make them like feel very ashamed, and so their physiology will be like very down and like depressed, and they will feel as if they have killed someone or committed some major crime. Whereas, so based on your own filters and based on your own internal representation, your state and your emotions and what you do or how you behave towards others is dependent. So basically, it's the same situation, nothing wrong with either, and it's how you internalize it, how you believe in it, and how you think about it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, right? And that will decide your behavior. So I can, like in India, usually most of the middle class girls never wear any makeup, and no one in my family wears makeup other than me because I live here. And so the first time I decided to get those eyeshadow or all those things because here when I used to go to work, people used to think, oh, are you depressed? Because I would go barefaced like I'm used to in India, right? And people will think, okay, she's not taking care of herself, that means something is going on. Whereas in India, if you, because no one wears, it's a common norm, no one says, okay, yeah, hi, hello, whatever, it's a normal thing. So same way, so my behavior changed because I live here. So I had to pick up the societal norms, or I would say the way of dressing, the people dress here, or okay, I have to look well put together before I go out, because otherwise people think differently of me. And it's more, I would say here it's more visual, like more appearance dependent. Like I notice the difference if I go in a dowdy jeans and shirt compared to if I go in a nice suit to a mall or something, right? Automatically the customer service changes. It's the same me, nothing different. And so same way the behavior, or however you behave, you have to adapt to whatever circumstances or society you are in. Like they say, when in Rome, do as Romans do, right? So, but the same behavior, I would give you the example. So when I go to India, so I leave almost of these Western clothes here. I will pick some of my Indian clothes, and of course they have the other Indian clothes for me to wear there. Wear no fake jewelry there because it's considered down, so I'll only wear gold and whatever real jewelry is there. Because if I'm going out, I can't go out in a fake jewelry kind of thing. People will say, oh, they don't have any money, they don't have any jewelry kind of thing. Whereas here it doesn't matter, right? And also, so same way the behavior, the physiology, the state, all depend on the internal representation, all depend on what filters you utilize, and they all depend on what your model of the world. So when I go there, I think, oh, I'm only there for 1 month, so maybe it's best that I do what they tell me to do. So I never go out alone over there. Always have the car and driver take me wherever I want to go, kind of thing. Whereas here, of course, I can go dancing at 2 a.m. at night, and that's equally okay for me, but I would never tell them because otherwise they will be totally worried about me. So same way, like I would say, like the model of the world of different cultures is different, as well as of different people are different. So another version of the model of the world, as said by Buddha, are that we are what we think, right? Like circumstances or anything don't define us. How we respond to it, that's what defines us, right? All we are arises from our thoughts, and with our thoughts we make our own world. Like even in this example of me and my sister, we make our own world. I feel, okay, here I have opportunities, I can be my independent self, I can create a company, I can basically make myself useful person in the society, as well as have the life I want. Whereas in her version of the world, I would say that her thoughts are, okay, I feel more safe when I'm among the society I grew up in, and where people think similar. So model of the world, of course, is different for the different people. And if you see in this picture, most of the people are very, very different, including this guy in the turban, right? So in the Western world, when people don't know that Indian people also wear turban, they don't know that it's an Indian person. Especially many of the things that happened with some of the people here, especially a taxi driver getting shot in San Francisco. He was one of those Sikhs. That's one of the religions followed in India. India has a lot of different religions and different languages. I'll give you an example of from my book, Find Your Happy. So I interviewed this guy who was incarcerated for life for killing someone with 6 bullets. And the reason, and he was incarcerated when he was 21 years old. And when I interviewed him, he's already around 45 years old. And so he was from a family of cops. And all his family, and he's the only one like who is not a cop, right? So when he was young, he says like, here people baptize everyone, and I have nothing against it. I'm open to all religions, but because when they baptize you, they say they baptize you because you were a sinner. So he was a young kid that time, I think 12, he said 8 or 9 years old. He said, okay, if I'm a sinner, why not sin? So he started going into violence and drugs. And his dad had, I think, a very hot temper. So maybe one day they must have told him, okay, get out of the house if you keep on behaving like this. So when he was, I think 12 or 13 or something, he just ran away from the house and started dealing drugs and owning guns. And he was, of course, always high on them too, because he's dealing with that. So when he was 21, he had a cat which the other drug dealer's dog killed. And just because the dog killed the cat, he went and shot that guy, and he was dead. So he was incarcerated for life, right? And so he stayed in the jail, and he was still doing the drugs, still being violent, because he says that's the only way to survive in jail, otherwise people will kill me. So he was doing that till his sister had a baby girl. When the sister had a baby girl, and then he said, and maybe she brought her to see, or brought a picture, I don't exactly remember, but so he says, okay, is that the legacy I'm going to leave for my niece? Is that how she's going to remember her uncle, like as someone who killed someone and was incarcerated for life, was in jail for that? And that was a, I would say, aha moment for him. And so he decided to give up drugs and went into the 12-step program in the jail. And even in the 12-step program, initially he wasn't very satisfied, but still, then what happened is, one of the Ananda Marga monks who visit the jails a lot, so they were visiting, and this guy had this guided meditation he was doing, and he was teaching all the prisoners. So, and also teaching about the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. I don't know how much you guys are aware of, but Bhagavad Gita, what it says is, do your duty, take care of your responsibility, let the results take care of themselves, right? Basically. So don't worry about the results. Just do what you are supposed to do, what is the rightful thing to do. So he resonated with that, so he decided to adapt that, and he asked his priest, okay, I want to do that part, can I do that, because it's against my religion? The priest says, okay, whatever works, right? At least it was an intelligent guy. So he started full-fledged and became a very vegan, started teaching yoga in the jail itself, and also the teachings of the Gita, to the point that he also started converting other prisoners who were incarcerated for life. And when he was 42 years old, which is 21 years of life sentence already over, so I think his bail was initially granted by the then governor, but then the governor changed, so it was again removed. But then he met this woman who used to do social work in the jail, and they fell in love. And of course he didn't want to do anything till he gets out, right? So, but combining that meditation and that, I would say, love he found, now he's out of the jail, he's married to this woman, he has a kid, and he is an electrician. He lives somewhere near Southern California. And his whole model of the world changed, right? After that baby was born, which was his niece. And now he goes around and teaches all the young kids, like the teenagers, why not to go into drugs and violence, because that's the time most are prone to go. And whereas, imagine the change from this guy who's just getting so angry that someone's dog killed the cat that he will shoot them point blank, to being this person who is a vegan and meditates every day and has a family and teaches other people why not to be nonviolent. Isn't that a complete change of the model of the world? And a complete change of the, I would say, the basic human needs. I think before it was only significance and certainty, but now it's become more love and connection and maybe contribution.